And we're live. Hello and welcome to the 151st episode of HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin, and I've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about FTX, the court battle that's happening with Sam Bankman-Fried being exposed, all of his scams. And I'm comparing that tonight to what Richard Hart had said about him even a year before he was discovered to be a fraud. So we got that and much, much more to talk about tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get going.
It's from Maddie ALLin of HEX Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research. Big videos on sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man. Maddie ALLin's got that covered. Does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff like as his gig because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like he helps heal people.
Now, the reason why this topic is so important to those of us who are in real cryptocurrency is that we need to distinguish ourselves from fake finance, and that includes any centralized exchange that defrauds people, that lies about what they're doing with customer funds, that even holds your keys for you, is not the main point of crypto. And so that's something that people who are in DeFi really need to speak up about. And so that's why we're focusing on that today in today's episode, because all of the crypto news seems to be covering the trial of Sam Bankman-Fried and his $8 billion hole in his balance sheet that was from him gambling people's funds away. You've heard from all of the executives that worked with him, and you've heard the stories of what's going on in the courtroom. But I want to bring it back tonight to like, what is true crypto? True crypto is where you hold your own keys. And so that's a big distinguishing factor. And then nobody can take your crypto from you, especially if you have a way to undo a hack. That's something that we provide with timepays.me. Well, we don't provide it. You provide it to yourself. So if I'm sharing my screen here, I'm on hexsearch.io, which is a great resource for you to be able to go back and to learn what Richard Hart had said in the past. It was created by one of the timepays.me developers, Chris. Shout out to Chris. He creates amazing tools here. And so we can click on going back. So I did a Google search and I said, when was it that FTX collapsed? Well, that was on November 17th, 2022. Richard Hart was talking about how much of a problem FTX was all the way back on August 3rd, 2021. So if you're doing the math, that's over a year earlier. And we can click here and it'll bring us to the YouTube page. It should share the audio here. Here we go. It is not sharing the audio. Thanks, StreamYard. Here we go. Still not sharing.
Read FTX. Where they bought advertisements? E-gaming. Various e-gaming things. All right. And who watches e-gaming? Kids. And when they're old enough, what are they going to do? Margin trade. And how's that going to affect their life? It's going to be the worst thing that ever happened to them. So if you thought your risk of dying of suicide was really high in your 20s, because I think it's actually the most likely thing to kill you in your 20s is yourself, wait till you throw margin trading in the mix. See how that goes.
So there's countless examples here of Richard Hart calling out scammers and teaching people not your keys, not your coins. If I do a search for how far back that goes, October 2017, he mentioned something about keys. let's look for that phrase specifically. July 27th, 2019. Oh, with Adam Stokes, someone I've streamed with maybe 3 times. And yeah, November 4th, 2019. Not your keys, not your coins. Take control of your keys. That was one of the whole points of HEX, was to be able to take control of your own crypto. Here we go. Now I'm showing the list that I was just reading off of. Perfect. Yeah. So there are countless examples here of where Richard is warning people that there's crypto can be stolen from them if they don't hold their own keys. That's one of the big lessons that we're learning with FTX. Okay, now I'm going to go to sharing a window so I have more control over sharing everything in the window here. Okay, so what is Richard Hart posting about now? Well, he's posting about SEC overreach. And I think that this post that I'm showing on the screen here was particularly awesome because it's showing how to use AI to reason about giving feedback, part of the legislative process of leaving a comment for the new rules that are being created for crypto. And this is using the power of democracy. Here, I took this list of all these reasons that the SEC can be in the wrong, and I threw it into ChatGPT to see like how many items there were in that list, how many, and if you spot check it, it seems like every single reason that you're reading is really important and well reasoned, and like, oh yeah, that is an area where the SEC is held accountable. There are 240 items in this list of reasons the SEC can mess up. So that's pretty incredible right there. Pretty incredible. I see Brother of Chaos in the chat. Good to see you there. Hello from Michigan. Hey, welcome. And welcome to everybody else who's tuned in. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the fact that I've been streaming for 151 weeks continuously every single Tuesday and Thursday night. Yeah, other than that, I guess the crypto markets are up. We're not sure if they are going to approve the Bitcoin ETF. We talked about on the show on Tuesday about the nuance of that and why it was misreported and kind of what all the angles were on that. So you can definitely check that out. But other than that, I mean, that's the news. The HEX and Pulse Chain ecosystem has been going up this past week, and not really sure what the news is there. I think it's just been down for so long that people are starting to accumulate again. And we saw a new whale or a new dolphin like buying into HEX. And so that's finally up off of its lows. Pretty great to hear. And Melf Tony here is reporting like what the prices are of each of the assets in the comments. Perfect. So I'm going to keep this one pretty short, just kind of checking in to make the point, because I guess Richard isn't making it for himself these days, that there are reasons to think that FTX was a scam long before I guess it was recognized in the general public. People who are crypto savvy, who are understanding self-custody, and part of the reason of having crypto in the first place isn't just gambling, but it's about holding your own keys, that's a principle that ended up saving a lot of people. You know, now we have to remind people how FTX is not crypto, and that doesn't represent what our values and what our technology is all about. So make sure to note the difference between fake FI and real DeFi. So with that being said, I am going to be bringing you guys another great episode coming up on Tuesday night. We'll have another special guest. Our streams have been super popular lately in the crypto space. I know Hex Therapy Live has been getting 3,000 views a week this past week from between X and YouTube. And then course, Game Theory Gang is having even more people tune in, usually about 4,000 to 8,000 people per week. So shout out to all of you who are sharing, liking, subscribing, becoming a paid member of the channel for $10 a month, buying the Trezor link in the description below. We're going to have some new products coming for that pretty soon as well. So yeah, that's all I got for today. We'll do the fancy outro. And until next time, stake wisely, my friends. Peace out.
What's good, Maddie? Had a stake in today. Think I'm gonna throw a party for the Hexicans. You know, it's gonna be live. I want you to come over, call everybody, call ATX and them. Tell them to stop through, man. It's gonna be live today. We're gonna turn up for you, Maddie. And we're live.
Hey, yo, Trace, you ready?
And we're live.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we ripping the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin.